We're going to come out of the customs union, we're going to come out of the single market, and so this is fully available for us to do trade deals.
on the NHS thing, because, Jonathan, look, I think you should be better than this. You are better than this, I know you are, than to talk this utter bollocks about the...
Can I just say, in my brief tenure question, that's now the second time that word's been used.
Well, you know perfectly well that there is no question of the NHS being sold off to the US. You know that perfectly well. You also know that there are multiple American companies already involved in the delivery of NHS services, and frankly most patients don't really care ultimately which company delivers which services. They just want good care.
Well, can I respond to your...
Can I just let Mairead get the word? Very briefly, Jon. Very briefly, I must let Mairead in.
This is about pharmaceutical companies, and the US pharmaceuticals have said they want access to our markets, and they want to force our NHS to pay more for the medicines that they manufacture.
Do you know what?
And it will double the NHS medicine bill. It will double the NHS medicine bill, and it will mean £500 million a week leaving our NHS and going to big US pharmaceuticals. That is why government trade officials were meeting US pharmaceutical companies as recently as this August. The NHS is for sale, and this general election is about saving the NHS.
Unlike President Trump, I am not going to interfere in this general election. So I preface my remarks. But can I just say, I was fascinated that in that interview it appeared the Prime Minister had talked about the details of the deal with the President of the United States. But there is one issue I need to just kill here. This idea of getting Brexit done as an overnight switch off and we move on and forget all about it. I'm sorry, that just is not the case. We are going to have to live with whatever comes. I mean, when we get the withdrawal agreement through, I'm not going to say if, but when we get it through, that is just the start of a very difficult process. And this week, Michel Barnier said that. This will be the toughest ever negotiations, because extraordinarily, never in history has a country pulled away from a trade agreement with a very big partner that is the European Union, and also, if you like, threatened or has decided to reduce or change regulations away from the European standards. So we will have a difficult negotiation to deal with. So I would just ask you all to be very patient and really to adjust your sets, because this is definitely going to be with us for much longer than any of us wish. And also, when I listen to this conversation, I'm moving over a little because it is going to be heated because there is an election on. Remember that the European Parliament has got to scrutinise this deal as well, and we will not do that until the House of Commons does it. And we take our duties as seriously as the House of Commons. So really, I mean, it isn't for me, but I do think whatever comes of an election, Brexit is there. It's hung over all our heads since 2016. It will continue to do that in whatever form it takes until we get to a place where we have this new relationship developed post-Brexit, which I hope is close, but one never knows.
But I'm sure you'll agree that at least at that point, by taking back our laws, by being able to do trade deals and getting
the US with Trump,
we'll at least be talking about how we're leaving, not whether we're leaving, not rehashing the same argument we've had for 3.5 years, which has been stymieing Parliament.
This is the second time that the European Union has negotiated the withdrawal agreement, and this is it. I mean, we did go back and reopen. It was around Northern Ireland, which is a sensitive issue, of course, for Ireland and the constituency I represent. But I think that the idea of it being done, I would worry that you could get done by Brexit. I think you have to be very careful about this, because this is a very big issue, not just for the UK, but also for the European Union. I would love your politics to settle down. And I do get a bit concerned when I hear politicians say, well, we need to deal with all the domestic things that we haven't been able to do because of Europe. And that is just not simply true. I mean, domestic issues are dealt with in all member states, but we try to deal with other issues collectively. So please be warned, I don't want this and I don't wish this, but Brexit is a long-term issue because we have to form a new relationship, unless, of course, something dramatic happens in the election campaign.
So there's something to look forward to, everybody. I'm going to take another question.